if that makes sense.
Yeah, let's give it a start. Like I said, everyone in the chat, if you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to send them in the chat. I'll be happy to reply there and also flag the questions for Josip. After the session is done, we are going to be sending a recording of the webinar as well as the slides that we're going to be going through today. So any questions that you might have, or if you want to re-review everything that's been said today, it's going to be sent to the email addresses that you used to sign up for the webinar. Josip, take it away.
Yes, let's start. So the topic of this webinar is the new visibility playbook in the age of AI search. So, and briefly about Lebesgue, some of you already know it. So we have a tool that analyzes over $3 billion of ad spend. It tracks your competitors on Facebook, Google, email, and it figures out what are the latest tactics and marketing strategies you can apply to improve your business performance. And you will see at the end of the presentation our latest features as we'll get to that part. But kind of the motivation for this whole conversation and this whole topic was a huge increase in AI referred traffic to Shopify stores. We analyzed this for WooCommerce stores, B2B businesses like ourselves, but a huge spike has happened on Shopify stores. And this is something you can see from February this year till July this year. There was 15x increase in percentage of traffic that was referred by AI engines. And the blue line here is ChatGPT, yellow line is Gemini, and green line is Perplexity. So you can see ChatGPT is leading here. So the main focus of my research was to figure out how to rank high on ChatGPT engines. And by the end of the presentation, you will have a very clear takeaways, what you should do to increase your visibility and what you should avoid to do because it's kind of myth or it's fake news or fake information that internet is like full of. So I hope this is really, really useful for all of you. So yeah, and what this matters is like it's happening overnight, but AI is becoming the first stop in product discovery for customers in the online space. And AI pulls data from trusted sources, not just Google search results. And if your brand isn't visible in these trusted sources or doesn't have a good website setup, you don't get recommended. So it's a huge missed opportunity that is changing, I think, every single day. I'm making more and more researches on what to purchase via ChatGPT or Gemini or some other tool, and I think most of us are. Also, one thing we heard more and more customers that we got referred by AI engines, so it's definitely changing overnight. Tony, you can probably confirm that talking from with all of our customers. Yes, and the agenda of this part is going to be part number one is how ChatGPT search chooses sources. Then we're going to cover 3 levers that you can pull to increase your visibility. We will share some B2B and B2C playbooks. We will touch upon Reddit strategies, as it's very, very important for this conversation, and myths versus reality part, where I'll just show you something that I read that's completely wrong, but people are pushing it a lot. And the last part is going to be our latest AI agent that has understanding of everything that you will see and can tailor you the ideal strategy to optimize your AI visibility. It's, I think, magnificent. So please stay tuned for that part. Yes, so let's start with how ChatGPT search works. This is just like one example. I started to search on ChatGPT, best marketing analytics app that he would recommend to me. And a nice detail is Lebesgue AI CMO is solution number 1. And now the question is like, how and why are we ranking number 1 in this search? So the first part is just going to be about breaking down the search elements of ChatGPT. These are also second and third suggestions if anyone wants to check that. But yes, kind of what happens is you input a query to ChatGPT or Gemini or Perplexity, whatever. And one part is if you don't require factual or new data, it will just look at its old training data that it was trained on. So that's maybe data from 2-3 years ago. But if he figures out he has to generate new data, it will send a crawler to fetch pages and figure out solution for questions you've asked. And now the first important part is how do you on your website let ChatGPT or any other tool fetch your website? And this is something a bit more technical on the SEO side. We will have to polish, as we will show to you, robots take step file, web application firewall, and sitemaps infrastructure, but we will get to this part. This is just important first part to understand when you ask GPT something, it has to fetch data from different websites. And one of the websites will be yours too. And a very, very important part that shouldn't be neglected, it rewrites query that you ask him. So if you ask, like similar to my search, best Shopify attribution tools, it will in the backend actually do a different query. So it will be something like compare Shopify marketing analytics and attribution solutions and give me some output. So it will rewrite the query that you've queried. And what is important here is you need a clear and structured answers on your website that will survive paraphrasing, because GPT, Gemini, whoever will paraphrase your query. And what was initial query maybe is not the query that he will be looking for. So this is super, super important to keep in mind. Number one is let AI tools fetch your website, and make sure you have to understand that queries that you are maybe searching are not the queries that someone else will search, or that AI engine will interpret as a search he's going to make. And the third part is it shows inline citations and sources. So it won't like Google show the whole page. It will just show you one snippet of a page. So the goal is not anymore to rank number one, but to be quotable and citable on your website, as this information is going to be pulled by AI engines. And the last part before we deep dive into all of this, it will also sometimes act as an agent. So it will look for multiple sources, compare data from multiple sources, and it will combine and condense the data into one solution. So what is very important, we'll cover that a bit more, but consensus across domains. You cannot talk about your website on one thing, and then Reddit tells a completely different story about your product. So there has to be a consensus of thoughts about what your tool is and what it does. So yeah, these are the four pillars of AI engine search and visibility, allowing them to fetch data on your website, making the data easily readable and accessible and digestible by AI, and making consistent data across different sources, as it is crucial to be visible in the outputs that AI tools make. Yes. So yeah, this is just a graphical representation of that. So user query gets rewritten, then fetched from the data, that synthesizes different sources, and then it gives you answers and citations. So these are like five most important parts to understand what you should do with your website and what should be your overall marketing strategy to rank higher on these AI era queries. Tony, does this make sense so far?
So far, high level, making a lot of sense. Very much, to me at least, kind of seems like an approach to SEO, but very different and multidimensional, right?
I would say this is approach to maybe old SEO, when you had to do things in the right way and not just hack everything with AI, but we will get to that part. Yeah, but it's just important to understand it on a high level. So fetching websites, rewriting queries, synthesizing information from different websites. Yes. And now that we understand that, there are like three levers you can control as a business owner, as a marketer, as a CMO, to rank higher on AI engines. One part is discoverability, so that your website is easily crawlable and detectable by AI. The content on your website is easily citable, so AI can cite content on your website, and then there is consensus across different websites about what you're doing, what is your product, what is your website, what users say about it. So these are like three levers that you can control, and now we will deep dive into each one of them, starting with discoverability. And this is a little bit more technical, so I won't be spending too much time on this, as we will cover it later with our AI agent. But yeah, kind of what you want to build as a Shopify store owner or as a B2B owner is allow search bots to access your robots text file, your site structure, sitemaps, and allowing it via a website application firewall. So you want to allow AI agents to be able to access your website. If you're not sure if they can do that, we have a tool that will do that for you. We will get to that part. But this is the first part. You have to be discoverable by AI engines. And a very important last modification is also important. Your content has to be fresh and recently updated in line with your producing somewhere else. So yeah, this is just how it looks on a high level. So robots you have to give permissions to agents to crawl your website. You have to give it a certain control what they can see. and the data has to be fresh with right schema and indexed, and so this is the how this pipeline works. A bit more technical. So again, we will wrap this part up with AI engine that we've built. And we can move to maybe more important parts, citability and later consensus. So for citability, yeah, Tony, let's just move on, if that's okay. Okay, cool.
Yes, let's move on with citability. But also just as a reminder for everyone participating today, chat is open for questions. So if at any point in time we're going too fast or something's not 100% clear, just shoot us a quick message. We'd love to discuss it.
Yes, please do, as it's really condensed topic, and we tried to make something that's really usable for your whole team, the marketing and CEO and SEO experts and developers. So it's a little bit of something for everyone, but it will all wrap up in the end with our AI agent, as you will see. So the first part here with the second part, citability, is unlike Google. So Google ranks your whole website. When you're Googling for something, you're going to be ranked number one if your the website tells a story. With ChatGPT or Gemini, it's slightly different. So you need to have a small, quotable, self-contained chunks of information that AI engines can easily read, understand, interpret, and get back to their users. So 4 pillars here are short summaries of pages, of each page, basically. Atomic facts with recently context, small tables, and Q&A blocks with anchors, as we will see. So yeah, and now let me just deep dive into this. TLDR parts of the website are very important. That's like the product page description or the couple of headlines on the top of the page that tells the story about your product or about your website. Then fast facts that were recently updated and that are really full of information about what your product does. And then we have this small table because tables and CSV files are easily interpretable documents for AI, and they favor it a lot. When they see a table, they will pull it and share it with customers who are querying for something. And then mini FAQ is very important, as you will see, anchoring stuff like pricing on your page, returns for B2C space. These are very, very important things that AI can, again, interpret easily, understand easily, and show back to their customers. So yeah, and I'll just show here one example. This is one of our customers, Parisa Wang, and this is how AI would this is how AI would easily interpret her product page. It's a handbag business. So TLDR part is basically a subheading of your product page. So here you have like 2 sentences, what your product is, or some key information that is easily, again, understandable by AI. Then it has a fast facts part, like bullet size on the sizing, material, shipping information. Then a small table for different sizes and fit guide. And then mini FAQ page with returns policy and care instructions. And this will be important later, but this is just an inception to a later part of the presentation. This is something that customer needs to. So this is not something that's just like out of thin air, just built for AI agents. All of this information is very, very important for customers, and kind of what AI wants to do is serve the best possible information to customers. So I think you can solve 2 problems with just polishing the PDP page for AI, as it can also be polished in the same process for your customers. So yeah, this is just how it looks, like visual parts. So TLDR, fast facts, small table, mini FAQ, and then anchors and footer information. Yeah, and this is just on the left B2B wireframe, on the right B2C wireframe, slightly different. Where is the specification table or fast facts, benchmarks in case of a B2B business that is showing some benchmarks, returns and policies for B2C. So yeah, this is how you should think about your product page. Also, some parts of this will be on the homepage, but yeah, super important information to feed the right data to AI tools.
Okay, well, as we talk, we do have a question from Jason. So the question is, don't most PDPs already have that kind of content?
Yeah, they do. I think what I saw is sometimes missing is this organizational schema, but we'll get to that part. Or maybe you're not having returns and policies on every. In the best case, they do have it. This is, and Jason, if you're asking that, you probably already thought about that and set it up in the right way. Yeah, so but there are many businesses that don't do it. Here I've put one example structure, so of a toothpaste or whatever is this. So again, like TLDR section, detail section, below what customers say, a return policy. So this is like one good example. But yeah, it is kind of inherent from Shopify theme setup that you have this, but there are weird pages with weird decisions. But I think AI could pull us in the direction of just doing this in the right way. But yeah, very good question. Yeah, but stay tuned. Some of the next things won't be that obvious. Yeah. Anyhow, this is just something more for the more in-depth, maybe for the B2B space. So like overview page, dedicated page, and deep dedicated page. I thought this is really good visualization. So we will be sharing this presentation later. I think this is really cool. But important is the structure that AI tools, when crawling your website, understand the shallow part, dedicated part, and then if someone is really interested, they can also pull the information from deep dedicated part. Yeah, so this is very in line with SEO best practices. But I think with all of the AI hacks, not all of the SEO best practices are being followed anymore. So this is just something to keep in mind.
Just to get into your flow, we've got a question from Jordan. What would be an example of a CSV download for a B2C type of business?
Wow, that's a really good question for our AI engine. We will get to that part. Let's keep this question in mind. I would have to think about it. I would have to think about it. That was more like B2B related. And it's kind of 80% of the focus here was B2C, but our company is B2B, so I also wanted to check and share some B2B insights. And for the we will get to that part. I have a couple of ideas. I would just like to think about it maybe 2 more minutes before giving my answer. Yeah, and let's just move to this next part. It's third part, consensus. And this is really important, and this is probably going to be the most applicable, where you want to make sure that there is consensus across the whole internet on what you are doing, what your products are, what your customers say your products are. And why it matters is because LLMs are probabilistic, so they want to see multiple times that something appears as a trusted source before recommending that. And if you have a website mentioned only on one place and no one ever said about it anything later, it's going to be too isolated, and AI will not favor you as a solution. And yeah, so kind of you want to have built a credibility via multiple sources, as it will just otherwise it won't recommend you. It needs to be sure that it doesn't recommend something that doesn't make sense when giving it to their customers. Of course, it's not perfect. You probably saw a lot of hallucinations, but their goal is to be better with that. And your goal is to be better with information you're feeding to AI. And now a very important part is formats that travel well, so that AI will always check is Reddit. And if you probably saw, there is Reddit has exclusive deals now with Google, Gemini, and OpenAI for ChatGPT to allow them to crawl Reddit content and figure out what's happening there. And that was a big part of our research here to understand what and how to approach Reddit. GitHub files are really important for deep tech B2B businesses, and review hubs, both for B2B and B2C, are very important. And that's actually, I think, what we'll get to strategic tips, but maybe I feel like this is better transition to online directories, and then we will get back to strategic tips. So these are mandatory listing pages that you should be, and I actually didn't want to put this because I thought it's too simple, like Trustpilot, MetaShop, but I heard customer actually yesterday asking me what is Trustpilot, and they're a big Shopify brand. So I thought it's maybe good that everyone sees this. So this is more general listing. A really important one is here for B2C. Google Shopping, Google Merchant Center, Trustpilot, Yotpo, or similar reviews platform. These are very important online directories where you want to be present, as these are going to be the first things that AI will fetch. So yeah, here just also GTIN numbers inputting to your Merchant Center are very important, as it adds additional credibility on your products. So this is what matters for D2C or B2C space. For B2B, very important is G2 Crowd, Capterra reviews, Crunchbase article on your company, PitchBook article on your company. These are very trusted sites that AI will fetch data from to explain what your business does and to recommend it to customers searching for your solution. Also, our favorite product hunt, where we were product of the week in marketing category. It was a very important, highly cited, highly ranked site. So if you didn't maybe think about launching on a product hunt, just for the sake of launching on a product hunt. And maybe now Tony, you think this is useful? We will be sharing this list so you can have it on your own.
I do. Like, I've always wondered where we were listed and where other businesses are listed. So just kind of having at least a simple list of must-haves is beneficial, but also just increasing your visibility to AI chatbots in this way. It's simple. It's not going to take you a lot of time. So definitely something to do.
Yes, and maybe if you're wondering if you are present there, so we have an AI agent that will check that and let you know if you're missing on some visibility somewhere, or there is a new platform or tool that appears that is ranking high. We also, I did check a bit deeper the directory. So we've submitted our tool to like top 30 directories for AI tools on the internet, but I'm not sure if that is working, so I didn't want to put it in the presentation. It's an attempt. We will update you in a month if it is working or not. Again, there is a lot of misinformation. I only wanted to put something that's 100% true. We don't want to recommend something that's not necessarily true, but we are, for example, ranking on AI directories available online as like AI tool for marketing. Yes, and maybe just to get back, as I've promised, these are some strategic tips that I think are very important. Is that you shouldn't copy paste text about your product everywhere. So Reddit, Trustpilot, G2 Crowd, Capterra, they should all be slightly different, telling the same story, but maybe from different angle for different user, because it looks like independent confirmation of information that AI tools are looking for. And definitely very important, Reddit should have a higher priority than random blog on the internet that no one reads. So think about authority of these pages. If you're not prominent and visible on Reddit, be there, be active, respond to customers, try to promote yourself a bit, as it has a high impact on your visibility with AI tools. And again, I'm not saying this from the top of my head. We are ranking #1 if you search for marketing analytics tool, so we did something right probably. And again, this is also very interesting advice and very important. So balance volume versus authenticity. So high signal mirrors are way more important than spammy saturation. It's really well said here, so I'm just reading what it says. But kind of don't spam cheap AI content and place it everywhere. If you have a cheap blog posts, cheap Twitter posts, LinkedIn posts, Reddit posts, people are not going to read it. AI is not going to read it. Focus on building a high signal, high value information for AI tools, as you will just have a better output like that. That's why I've mentioned this is like the old SEO, when you had to write a really detailed long blog post full of information, as AI can detect if it's just a cheap spammy content and it won't recommend you. And again, like very important, use structured data that is readable by AI engine. Here, very important are like bullet points and tables. Maybe CSV is a wrong statement here. Or downloadable CSV or JSON are good, but the main point is like bullet points, tables are either that's content that's favored and liked by AI engines. So make sure to have that on your website. Okay, we did cover this part, and the next part is like what to avoid. I think it's equally important section, because there is so much misinformation on what you should be doing. Even some of these things we did do, and they didn't work for us, but we had to try it. Tony, any questions before we continue with what to avoid?
Currently, no additional questions coming in the chat, but I'm guessing a lot of people are just waiting to have them at the end with the Q&A session.
Okay, cool. So let's just cover what to avoid. Again, this is something that I've just mentioned. So scaled AI content spam is highly on not to-do list. That's very important. Other thing is like hiding tags behind paywalls and images. This is not interpretable or accessible by AI engines. You want to drop that if you are doing that. And very important thing that I actually wanted to try, but it turned out to be a bad idea. There are like ghost subreddits on Reddit where there is no admins, there is no content moderators. And I thought we're just going to push a lot of information there, but it turns out to be a bad idea, and you will be penalized by AI if you do that. So you cannot hack it by just spamming Reddits that no one reads or takes care of anymore. So that's a list of what not to do. And also something I was thinking about, all of these TLDR, so content summaries, anchoring of the pricing or return information on the website. Should I hide it from, that was one of the questions I wanted to research. Should I hide it from the users and just allow it to be accessible by AI engines? So you can create a dedicated pages for AI engines only. And it turns out to be a bad idea. So what AI engines can read, also users should read. If you don't do that, if it's not like one-to-one correlation, you will be penalized. And yeah, OpenAI, Google don't like that. And again, I think this is maybe the key takeaway of the whole presentation. So design content that will be valuable both for users and AI engines. So there is no hacking of this. You have to do it in the right way. You have to sit down again and spend 2 hours on creating a page instead of just pushing it with ChatGPT post. Yeah, and here is an example. So returns information on the product page is something customers care about. So it's not just about AI engines. Customers care about that too. And this is another like big myth. I heard this from like 7 different pages or sources, and it turns out to be a wrong thing. So building a LLMs.txt file for your store doesn't work. There was a big hype about it around a year ago, where it was inspired by robots take step page, and it turns out it doesn't work. So it's not like widely accepted and standardized like SEO hacks, and most AI engines don't read it consistently. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. And it won't help you with discoverability or citability. So yeah, this is more technical for people that understand it. Better alternative is to build a start here page. So you can have like lebesgue.io/start here. We don't have it yet, but a start here page, which would be like pillar page of your website where your users and AI engines can access it to fully understand what your brand is about. So, it has to have a good content, and this is, I think, a nice SEO hack, how you can rank higher on AI engines instead of focusing on this LLMs text file that doesn't work. And actually, we have LLMs.txt file and it doesn't work. So something for our team to change, Tony. Yeah, and I would just put here like myth versus reality. This is just something you can screenshot it. You can just download the presentation later. I pulled some things that like are not working versus things that are working. As I was wondering, like, should we hide the content from users and just show it to AI engines? Should we hack the Reddit and just push on ghost subreddits tons of posts about Lebesgue? It doesn't work. So we did put it here in this table. You can analyze it later. And yeah, again, like I did mention this already, but Reddit matters a lot. So yeah, and I did mention, so kind of the right way to do Reddit, I'll show you that with our AI engine, actually AI agent. But both OpenAI and Google have big contracts with Reddit to be able to scrape it all the time and pull the information and train data on Reddit. So Reddit is going to be crucial, I believe, over the next 6 to 12 months to get the high AI engine recommendations. Yeah, Tony, I would now move to our AI agent, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but before we move to that, I do have a question from Sierra. So as we were talking about the ideal structure of a website, Sierra's question was, how many FAQs are too many? And what type of questions should be answered within the main article versus in the FAQ section in the bottom? Specifically for 5 location fertility clinic within the US. Like what would kind of be the ideal setup of let's do this in the TLDR and then let's do this in the FAQ section of a particular page?
Yeah, I think TLDR should be about just describing the business in like 4 or 5 sentences. So like 80 words, 40 to 80 words. So like short section about the business or about the product on the product page. And FAQ, I would say like 5 to 10 FAQ answers or FAQ blocks is good enough. You can check it on our website. I think we have around 5 FAQ answers per page, but it's very structured. So we have lifetime value feature, and FAQ on the lifetime value feature is only about lifetime value. We have a creative strategies feature. FAQ on that page is just about creative strategies. So I think it has to be very intuitive and easily readable by AI. So if you have like 5, I didn't understand about Tony, but if you have 5 of something, every page should answer about, FAQ for one of the 5 locations or whatever it was. You think, did we answer it, Tony, or?
I think we've covered it, but yes, Sierra says that's helpful. They create a lot of educational content on their learning center as well as on their service pages. So that's cool. But also, Sierra, happy we could answer your question. But we've got another question from Marco. What was this atomic or vector something at the beginning? So within the first couple of slides.
Oh yeah, okay. That's. I would maybe, Tony, cover the.
I
So
agree.
yeah.
We
This little, I don't know why I've put this for myself to explain it to myself, but kind of summary vector is this too technical maybe to explain now, but kind of TLDR should be about the summary of your page to simplify it. It should be about like a short explanation of what your page is about, and the fast facts should be about like features of your page. So like, again, let's take this example of lifetime value page of our software. Summary vector is like lifetime value helps you analyze retention, churn, lifetime value of your customers. And a fast facts or feature vector is about breakdown per product, breakdown per country, breakdown per state. So it states features of your product page. Or like if it's a Parisa Wang bag, this just summarizes the bag, so size, material, quality, and feature vector is a little bit more in depth, like what fits in, sizes, or like where you can purchase it, or amount of reviews that you have. So facts are like more like detailed. Yeah, just think about it like a summary of your TLDR page versus features of your page. Okay. Yeah,
I think that
funny.
covered it, but Mark is going to let us know if it hasn't covered.
Yeah, markets, we can go on a separate call to cover that. I can link to you if just reach out to us. I read a really interesting archive article on how to rank high on AI engines. So it's very, very technical. We can go a bit more technical if needed, but not maybe, it's not content for everyone. Tony, I would maybe just cover the AI agent, and probably some of these answers our agent will cover better than I do. So let's just move to that part. So as some of you know, some of you maybe don't know, we have these AI agents in the tool. That's our latest feature that is still in the early phase. You have to request the access via our website form. And we have agents that can explain your creatives, your Facebook ads performance, your Shopify performance, revenue numbers. And the latest agent that we have is AI Visibility Master. And let me just show you, this is now happening in real time. I'm not even sure if this is going to work, but let's give it a try. So yeah, we can basically, the only thing that agent needs is your URL, and it will look at all of the elements of your website. It will give you a score, AI visibility score. So like how easily it is to fetch the data on your store, how well you have a structured product and policies information. So kind of everything that we went through in this presentation is part of our AI Visibility Master. It will focus on top 3 things you can build for your store to improve numbers. For example, add identifiers like GTIN, or aggregate rating information is missing on the store. Parisa doesn't have the TLDR summaries or fast facts. And then it lists the top 10 fixes, impact level, effort level, and it even proposes, as you will see, patches that you can implement on your Shopify store or B2C store. Yeah, or this is interesting. He detected our AI engine that your Parisa is not engaging her customers on Reddit. So that's a very, very important part. Again, the focus is on the GPT with a reason, because it has like 80% of the market share. Most of customers are getting to the Shopify websites via GPT. And then our tool, you can just ask him like, give me these fixed specs. So yeah, it will give you the improved robots step file. It will give you the snippet pack for the product page. I hope. Yeah, but kind of let's see. Yeah, so yeah, it will in the next version. This is built on GPT-4. Our next update is going to be GPT-5, but all of this is going to be pre-built in advance. You don't have to even ask it anything. It will give you all of this information. Yeah, but here it was a two-step process. GPT-5 is just smarter than GPT-4. Yeah, so it gave you the robots.txt file patch to improve your fetching data from AI. A snippet pack for TLDR pages, HTML code that you can just ship to your development team. And for example, here it also proposes some Reddit post templates and suggestions how to improve on the Reddit ad. And this is the Start Here hub page that you should build. So yeah, I think this is quite cool. I can also show here, this is more like in work in progress on our end, but a version that was built on GPT-5 is even stronger. So it gives more detailed reports. So if you probably subscribe today, you will be in the next in the batch for next week, so you are able to access this, where you get a bit more detailed information, everything that you should be doing on your store. So patches for the Shopify page, JSON LD files, TLDR or specifications table suggestions, Reddit proposals. It has all of this information here. It's a massive field. And again, yeah. So for example, here it detected relevant subreddits for Parisa Wang. It gives all of the suggestions that Parisa should do to have a higher AI visibility. Yeah. Tony, should we make another demo?
So yeah, Josip, essentially everything that we've kind of talked about today and everything that you've talked about within the presentation can be done within the agent, right? And it was just funny to me as we were talking about how much AIs love tables, getting an output of a table as well. That was really cool.
Yes. Thanks, Tony. Let's just see. Yeah. Let's just see if it can analyze here with our tool some other page. So this is one of our customers who was willing to show our demo. So Parisa Wang, awesome brand, check it out. Yeah, it can also evaluate here different brands. So if you have like maybe access to multiple brands, it can evaluate your competitors. That's one of the features we are building. So yeah, for example, it also detected something that we should do on our web with lebesgue.io website to be more visible on GPT fetches or consensus. Yeah, testimonials are present. But yeah, we are missing the Trustpilot, or for example, but we do have Capterra NG to crowd, so that's something we can work on. Yeah, so it gives the specs, HTML code, everything that you should implement for your store. And yeah, maybe we can even ask him, let's ask him, Tony, maybe how many answers should I have in FAQ page? Tony, let's check if he's, yeah, 5 to, I think I said something like that. Core set of questions, 5 to 10. I think 5 to 10 would work. Yeah, but yeah, I would really recommend rather chat with our AI chatbot than myself here. He's way smarter than I am on this topic, unfortunately. Yes. Okay. Let's just go back here to see if we had something else in mind to cover. Yeah, this maybe just to wrap it up. I think this is actually the most important part, and we will be sharing an Excel sheet with submission systems. So you want to regularly check what is the output of ChatGPT queries. So behave like a customer searching for your product, see what answers ChatGPT gives and why it's giving these answers. Maybe it pulled a source from some blog post or something, and make sure you are also you're also going to be visible there. So you will just have to do it the hard way, like SEO, was being done like 10 years ago, step by step, evaluating, analyzing, giving the right information, making sure the page is set up in the right way, and right content is being fed to AI engines. Yeah, so that's basically, Tony, what I had in mind. We have any other questions?
We've had a request, not necessarily a question, more of a request from Jason. If we can send out that link to the technical article that you mentioned, that you read, so that can be something that we can kind of have included.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Definitely, we can do that. Anyone else can hear him?
That's all handled. You could be heard. Okay, we went through all of the questions in the chat. What I also wanted to give everyone is there's going to be a lot to cover, and we have covered a lot today. So it might be a bit overwhelming, but really kind of it's no longer just enough to think about the SEO implications of your website. You need to think about how you are optimizing for different chat agents and for different AIs, which people are using more and more, which we really saw from this 15x increase in AI traffic driven towards e-commerce businesses. And this is going to be happening across the board, both for e-commerce, but for B2B as well. So this is another front where you can kind of get ahead of your competitors as well. And with the AI agent that the Lebesgue has built that you can have access to as an early access within our app, you are going to be able to quickly audit your website, get actionable insights, and really see what will kind of be the next steps for you to become more visible as people are both shopping but also researching more with ChatGPT and Gemini in particular.
Yes, Tony, maybe just to add here, this is a separate agent that I just wanted to check here. He can also create a full Reddit strategy for you. So, so you can get a feedback on what to do on Reddit. We are paying a lot of attention to Reddit because, as we've mentioned, it's going to be a crucial part of understanding Reddit and Bing ads. So OpenAI is pulling a lot of information from Bing. So Reddit and Bing, I think, are going to be like 2 or 3 times more important than they were 6 months ago, or especially a year ago. Yeah.
Just
So
as this is being processed, we had a question from Jordan. Any thoughts about specific backlink building in the AI age, aside from the directories and social media?
yeah, that's a really good question. I think like definitely high authority sites are. I think the old SEO strategy will be important again. That it has to tell a same story from different angles. So yeah, I would definitely look for high authority backlinking pages. If you try to hack it by having 200 cheap backlinks, it's not going to work. If you're a B2B business that is doing like email marketing, you should have a backlink from Lebesgue page on the email marketing because we are trusted and high authority source. So yeah, I would actually just approach it as you would approach backlink building like 7 years ago or 5 years ago, before it was everything was overwhelmed with the AI content. Yeah, but again, start from the top. So Reddit, Bing, Capterra, G2 Crowd, Trustpilot, yeah, all of these like high authority pages, having like a shop merchant center set up in the right way, Facebook shop, TikTok shop, all of that, and then go further down in the backlink space. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Josip. For everyone, I've also left our main email address in our chat. So as you are going through the content that we are going to be sending out, both the recording and the presentation, any questions that you might have, feel free to send them over. We'd love to chat. We'd love to book a call. And if you want a demo of Lebesgue's agents, we'd be happy to organize one for you as well.
Yes,
Awesome.
Tony. Sorry, maybe just I would add, we will update this graph in a month. So, we will send that over the LinkedIn post or something like that. So stay tuned. I think this is going to double soon as the adoption really has a hockey stick curve. Yeah. Like yesterday, I made my first purchase via ChatGPT recommendation, like e-commerce purchase. And now it's happening in 2 months, especially by the time of Black Friday. That will be our topic of the next webinar. So Black Friday preparations with AI agents in mind and AI visibility. So stay tuned. Yeah, and everything that you're seeing in our webinars and content is part of our tool. So all of these agents, all of this knowledge is incorporated in our solution. So yeah, we are always happy to demo the product and show you capabilities on your exact store.
Awesome. Josip, on my behalf and on behalf of everyone that's been on today's webinar, thanks for sharing this content with us. Thanks for preparing it. I know it's a team effort, but I really love the information, and I think that kind of moving into an AI age really, really strong, this webinar is going to help a lot of our customers and a lot of people that have been on our webinar today. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
If we have no other questions, I'm going to let you go about your day, and we're going to be ending this webinar. Stay tuned for more Lebesgue webinars that we are going to be hosting. We're doing this on a regular schedule now. So once a month, we are going to be having webinars talking about the most important issues in the e-commerce space, all based on actual data and on a huge data set of over $3 billion of ad spend that we are analyzing. So thank you all for joining us this Wednesday. Hope you have an awesome rest of your day. And any questions you might have, we're at hi@lebesgue.io. So thank you, everyone. Have a good one. And absolutely, you can get future webinar links in an email. We are going to be sending those out. So stay tuned for more by the end of this year as well. So have a good one. Have an awesome day.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Hey, everyone.